All right, good evening and welcome to our class on functions and formulas you can use as a data analyst. We have so many functions we are going to be going through for today. Before I start, my name is Bright Agbo. I'm a data analyst instructor. I drop videos here every week. Remember to subscribe, remember to hit share, like, and drop a comment at the end of this video. So let's start our first function we're going to learn is our aggregate function. So what is aggregate function? Aggregate function are the basic function we use to do calculation in Excel. This consists of the addition, the multiplication, the division, average, minimum, maximum, and so on. So with this function, you can quickly do calculation in Excel without going through your calculator. So the first function we are going to learn is the addition, also known as the sum function. In Excel, we don't call it addition, we call it sum function. So I put addition here for easy understanding. So in Excel, we call it the sum function in Excel. So for us to know the total amount we are going to spend on these items, so these are the list of things you want to buy at the mall. So you want to go shopping. So these are the list of things you want to buy. You want to buy a bag, want to buy a shoes, laptop, microwave, and so on. So these are the price for each item and the quantity you want to buy. You want to sum up all of this and know how much are we going to spend at the mall. So for us to do that, we're going to bring our cursor to cell C13. We have this red mark area C13. So remember in Excel, every function in Excel start with an equal sign. Every function in Excel start with an equal sign. So we enter here the equal sign. So we type the function. What is the function? Sum. Want to sum up everything. So we type sum, hit on the tab key. So now we are going to add up the range. So what do we mean by range? Range is a block of cells, right? So this is the range from C4 is the range down to C12 is our range. So we close our bracket and hit on enter. So we have the sum amount that's 99 naira. So you can see that you can't see the color clearly, you can't see the text clearly because of the color. So for you to change this color, you need to highlight the cell. You come to your home tab, you click on fill color, click on this fill color. You pick any color of your choice. So let's go with this white. So we have the color. So the color has changed to white. So you can easily know how much we are going to spend. So let's assume you want to change this to red, this red color. I want to change this to red. You click on this cell, you click on font and pick any color of your choice. So let's go with red. Click on red. So that's how to format your data in Microsoft Excel. Let's move to the next aggregate function. So here we are going to use multiplication here. So we want to multiply and know how much are we going to spend. So if you look closely, this place there is no border here in this other list. We didn't apply borders to our list. So this is what we call borders. These lines is what we call borders. We didn't apply borders to our list. So for us to apply borders to our list, we're going to select all of this item, select everything, still on the home tab, we click on this border, we say all borders, click on all borders. So we have applied borders to our list. So let's quickly do some calculations. So if you want to multiply the price of the bag and the price of shoes and know how much we are going to spend. So let's do the multiplication. Again, equal sign. So here, since it's only two, we are going to make use of the formula. So formula it doesn't contain a pre-defined function. So formula here we are going to call on each cell one after the other. So you are going to say cell G, cell G3, sorry, cell G4, cell G4. So for us to know the multiplication, we are going to use asterisk. Asterisk means the star, right? We are going to use asterisk. So we are going to use asterisk. Asterisk means star. So click on Shift and 8 to bring out the asterisk sign. So you want to multiply with shoe. Which cell is shoe? Shoe is on cell G5. So you click on G5, hit on enter. So we have 200. We have 200 naira. You're going to spend 200 naira. You want to buy a bag and a shoe. You want to multiply the price of bag and the price of shoe. So if you look closely, you see here, you see that there is no currency symbol. There is no naira symbol here. So for us to add naira symbol, so this 200 means something. Is it $200, 200 pound, 200 Ghanaian cedi, or 200 what? 200 people or 200 bags of rice. So we don't know. So let's quickly add a currency symbol here. So still on the home tab, the numbers, you click on this accounting format, more accounting format. So you don't want decimal, so let's shift this down here. So you don't want decimal, we decrease the decimal. So let's pick our symbol. If you stay in the UK, you can pick your UK the pound symbol. If you stay in Russia, you can pick the Russian symbol. If you stay in the US, any country you stay, you can pick the currency symbol. So I'm in Nigeria, so the prices are in naira. So let's quickly scroll down to where we have naira and pick. So I'll pick this. I pick this and hit on OK. So we have a naira symbol there. So this is clear that we are going to spend 200 naira if we multiply the price of a bag and the price of shoes. We're going to have 200 naira. So let's move to the next one. So the next one we have here is the multiplication. So this is also multiplication, but there's a different trick you can use for this. So let's also assume that you have a very long column and you don't want to call the cell one after the other. You want to make your work easier for you, right? So you're going to use a function here known as the product function. The product function is going to multiply all the items we have on a range. It's going to multiply that. So let's our function. Again, we go with that equal sign. We type product. So what do we want to multiply? We want to multiply every item on this list, every values on this list, on this range, sorry, on this range. So we close our bracket and hit on enter. So we have it there as 288,800,000. The amount we are going to spend, we multiply all the items, all the price on our list. If we multiply all the price on our list, this is how much we are going to spend. Let's move to the next aggregate function. Here we have the division function. Here we have the division. So for a division, we are going to use the formula because there is no function for formula. We are going to use, sorry, there's no function. Yeah, there's no function for division. Rather, we are going to use formula for division. So let's divide this. So we want to divide the price of bag and the price of shoes. So again, we go with an equal sign. So what do we want to divide? So we want to divide the value in cell O, in cell O4. So use the normal division sign we know in elementary school. Click on it. And O5. and hit on enter. So we have the price there as the total amount as 5. So if we divide the price of bag and the price of shoe, you're going to have 5. You're going to have 5 naira. So we move to the next. We move to the next, which is subtraction. All right. So if we subtract the price of bag and the price of shoes, how much are we going to have? How much are we going to have? Again, there's no function for subtraction. There's no function for division. So let's quickly do that. Again, we start with our equal sign. So what cell and what cell do we want to subtract? So we want to subtract cell T4 from cell T5, right? And hit on enter. So we have the 10, right? 10, 20 minus 10 is 10, right? So we have here 10. It's the total amount of money you are going to spend when we subtract the price of bag from the price of shoes. So let's move to the next one, which is the average. So we have 3 more left: average, minimum, and maximum. So we have 99 naira as the total amount you are going to spend. So let's check the average amount you are going to spend. What is the average amount you are going to spend? So for us to find out the average amount, you go again with an equal sign. We type average. So what number do you want to check the average? We want to check the price, everything on column Y, right? From Y4 to Y12. So want to apply the average function to that and know the average amount of money we are going to spend. So we hit on enter. So we have 11 naira. The average amount we are going to spend at the mall is 11 naira. We move to the next function, which is the minimum function. So you all know the meaning of minimum, the least amount of money. So let's assume your boss asks you, what's the least amount you are going to spend? Or your mom asks you, what's the least amount you have there on your list? Instead of you going through the list one after the other, you quickly come here, go to cell AD13 and go type your equal sign. You type the mean. So you also apply to our range. So don't forget, always apply to range. So we apply to the range from here to here. Apply to range. We now close our square bracket or in parentheses and hit on enter. So we have the minimum amount, the minimum price is 2. So if we change this price of bulb from 2 to 60 naira, so we see here that we have the minimum price as 4. The minimum amount price we have here is 4 naira, which is the price for fan. So we are going to do the opposite of minimum, which is maximum. So again, we go with an equal sign, equal, we type maximum. So we apply to a range and hit on enter. So we find out that the highest price, the most expensive item here, is 20 naira, which is the price for bulb. So if I change this price of bulb from 20 naira to 80 naira, so you see here that the total amount has automatically changed to 80 naira because we make reference to a range. What is the benefit of making reference to a range? We make reference to a range. So without wasting much time, let's move to the next function, which is the VLOOKUP function. So let's clear this out. So with the help of the VLOOKUP function, you can easily search for your item without going through your workbook or without going through your sheet. So VLOOKUP searches for item vertically and return the corresponding piece of information. You search for your item from left to right, right, and not from right to left. So let's assume your boss in your office asks you to quickly give him the phone number of Mickey Mouse. He wants to have the phone number of Mickey Mouse. So you type in here Mickey Mouse. So let's quickly show you how to do this. So let me clear this. All right. So let's assume your boss asks you to quickly give him the phone number of Mickey Mouse. You want to put a call to Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was not in the office for 2 weeks. So you want to put a call to him directly. So for you to quickly do that, so let's quickly create a border. So in the home tab, all borders. So we type in here full name. We type in your full name. We type in your phone. Since we want to check for a phone, we type in the phone. All right. So under the phone name, we're going to type in Mickey Mouse. All right. So we are going to apply the VLOOKUP function to search for the phone number of Mickey Mouse. So remember, we search from left to right and not from right to left. So let's quickly search for the phone number of Mickey Mouse. So we start with an equal sign. We type VLOOKUP. So what is our lookup value? Our lookup value is Mickey Mouse. So remember, we want to check for the Mickey Mouse phone number. Our lookup value is Mickey Mouse. So where is Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse is on cell A16. We click on this A16. Where is our table array? Our table array is the whole of this table. Our table array is from A3 to E12. So our table array is from A3 to E12. Hit on comma to move to the next one. Column index number. What this means is what are you looking for in all of these columns? So remember we have highlighted column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. What column are we looking for? So Excel telling us we should be specific. Which column are we looking for? We are looking for the phone number of Mickey Mouse. So we count column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So phone is on column 4. So hit on 4. Lastly, hit on comma again. What are we looking for? Is it exact match or an appropriate match? Definitely you're looking for an exact match. You can type in false or you type in 0. So let's go with 0. And hit on enter. Sorry, we close our bracket and hit on enter. So you can see here that we have Mickey Mouse phone number. You have Mickey Mouse phone number here. So if we change this to Emma Alonso, the phone number automatically changes, right? The phone number automatically changes. So that's how to use the VLOOKUP function in Excel. So you use to search from your item from left to right. Quickly search for your item from left to right without going through the whole worksheet, without going through the whole table, and it will take a longer period of time for you to achieve that. So that is the function of the VLOOKUP. So you move to the next one, which is the XLOOKUP. So let's clear this out again. All right. So let's assume, so the advantage of the XLOOKUP is that it doesn't give you limitations. You can customize it the way you want. And even if you create a new cell in between a new column in between these two columns, it won't divide it, it won't give you an error sign, or it won't give you zero. So that is the benefit of the XLOOKUP. So basically, I think XLOOKUP came out to fight the VLOOKUP. That's how I see it, to fight the VLOOKUP. And what I have here, this is an advanced function that helps a data analyst to search for any information without limitations. With this function, you can search for information horizontally and vertically. So remember, in our VLOOKUP, we search vertically, but with XLOOKUP, we can also search horizontally. So let's type in a name here. So let's assume you're working in the marketing department and your head of department asks you to quickly provide him with information about a particular staff. Let's say Henry Hart. How much did Henry Hart generate as revenue? So your head of department is asking you to quickly provide him with the total amount of revenue Henry Hart generated for the past 1 year or 6 months or whatever the case may be. So you've quickly created your border, your range. So do what we call a range. You've quickly created your range. So we've quickly created your range. So we type in Henry Hart because we want to check for Henry Hart revenue. Henry Hart revenue. So remember with our equal sign, so we type in equal sign. Which function are we going to use? We're going to use the XLOOKUP function, XLOOKUP. What's our lookup value? Henry Hart is our lookup value. So this E3, so E3 is our lookup value. What is our lookup array? This is our lookup array. Employees is our lookup array. Employees is our lookup array. So what's our return array? What do we want to return? If we type in Henry Hart, what do we want to see? When we type in the name Henry Hart, what do we want to see? If the head of department types in Henry Hart, what does he want to see, or what does she want to see, or what is she going to see? So that's what we know as a return array. So we highlight revenue as a return array. The next one here is if not found. So what this means is that if the head of department types in any other name without any name outside the name of employees, outside the name we have on this list, let this message pop up, not the staff. Not a staff, right? Let that message pop up, not a staff. So I'm going to quickly hit on enter key to do that. Hit on enter. So you find out here that Henry Hart generated 300 naira for the company, 300 naira. So if the head of department mistakenly type in my name, let's say Bright, I'm not in the marketing department, I'm in the IT department, types in my name Bright and hit on enter, you can see they're not a staff or not a member of the department or not in a department. You can customize it to how you want it to be. So that is the benefit of the XLOOKUP. So you can customize it. Another benefit of the XLOOKUP is even if you insert a new column in between employee and revenue, your answer still stands, right? This use stands. So if you do the same for the VLOOKUP, you insert a column between department and phone number. I'm going to get a zero answer. So you have that here, zero answer, because we were referring to a column, right? So that is the limitation of the VLOOKUP. That's the limitation of the VLOOKUP. So if I delete this back, we have it there. So that is the limitation of the VLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP doesn't have such limitation. XLOOKUP doesn't have such limitation. So that is the benefit of using the XLOOKUP function. The next function we are going to look at is the index function. Is the index function. So the index function in Excel will return a specific value within a table or range. With this function, you can specify the row and the column number of your choice. But if the table or range has only one column, you don't need to include the column number. So let's go back to our department example we have been using. So let's assume you are working in the IT department and your boss asks you to quickly tell him the best player for each department, right? The best player for each department. So remember the index function, you are going to make use of the row number. You are going to make use of the row number. You are going to make use of anything. So we have here accounting is on row 1. You start here to count. So it's not row 3, right? Because this row is empty, right? So the second row is the header. So you started to count row 1. Accounting is row 1. History is row 2. Next search is row 3. Marketing is row 4. Law is row 5, and so on. Right? So we want to take the best player for what? For, let's say, marketing. We want to check the best player for marketing. We want to check the best player for marketing. We are going to type in, so we count again, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So ranking, we type in row 4, ranking, type in 4. So we go back to our best player range. So we type in our equal sign, equal index. So what is our array? So what is our array? The law of this range is our array. A3 to C12 is our array. Hit on enter. What is our row number? Our row number is row 4. Row number, so remember we talk about row number. We have row 1 accounting, row 2 history, row 3 medicine and surgery, row 4 marketing. So we hit here, so we have it already in ranking, row 4. We click here, row 4, hit on comma, column number. So remember with the VLOOKUP, the column number. So we count marketing, sorry, department is column 1, best player is column 2. So the header says best player. So we hit on 2 and we close our brackets and hit on enter. So the best player for marketing is SpongeBob SquarePants. So you'll be surprised, why is it outside this range? Why is it outside the border? It's because the name is long, very long. The name is a longer name. So for you to adjust your border, you bring your cursor to here. You bring your cursor to here and double click. So you see here that SpongeBob is the best player in marketing. For this role, SpongeBob is the best player. So if I change this 4 to let's say 5, so see here Sam Pocket is the best player. So we have here Sam Pocket is the best player. So you are making use of the row number. So index function makes use of a row number. It's just it's similar to the VLOOKUP, right? But here we make use of a row number, right? We make use of a row number. So that is the only difference between this and a VLOOKUP. We make use of a row number. So we're going to move to the next function, which is the match function. So this is opposite of index function. So remember in our index function, we make use of the row number. So remember in our index function, we make use of the row number. So in the match function, we're going to make use of not the row number, we're going to make use of the position. So I have here that the match function in Excel will return a numerical position of an item within a single column, right? Within a single row. So within this particular row here, right? Within a particular single row, not more than one row. So which department are we checking for again? So let's also assume your boss asks you to check for the position of for the position of for the position of radiography on the department column. Which position do we have radiography? So let's type in radiography here. Type in radiography. So under the position, we go again with our equal sign. We type in match. What is our lookup value? What is our lookup value? Radiography is our lookup value. So click on radiography, lookup value. What is our lookup array? The law of this column is a lookup array from A3 to A12 is our lookup array. What do we want? We want exact match. So forget about the greater than, the less than. We want exact match. So we type in 0 and hit on enter and close our bracket and hit on enter. So we have here that radiography is on row 9. So we check row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7, row 8, and row 9. Right? Is on row 9. So the match function is opposite of the index function. Right? So here we check the row number and find out the best player. While here we check the department and find out the position. It's basically opposite. So there is no much difference. It's basically opposite. So I don't really see the reason why Excel should bring index and match functions. Index to fight match function and match function to fight index function. So I don't see any reason. I don't know why they did that. But basically, they do basically the same thing. So we move to the next one, which is the index and match function. So the benefit of this is that you can use it to perform a flexible and a dynamic lookup. That is the benefit of the index function, index and match function. The index function retrieves a value from an array, with the match function that dynamically determining the correct row number. So I think the index and match function is almost the same thing like the VLOOKUP. That's how I see it. But it's important you have an idea. So it's important you have an idea of all this already. So we've prepared this. So let's go back to our example. So let's assume your boss in your office asks you, using the index and match function in Microsoft Excel, can you quickly give me the department of Patrick Star? Though I'm a SpongeBob fan, I watch SpongeBob a lot. So can you quickly give me the department of Patrick Star using the index and match function? Not the VLOOKUP, not the XLOOKUP, not any other thing, using the index and match function. So can you quickly give me the department of Patrick Star? So here you can use the ID or also use the full name, sorry, the ID or the full name. So we type in here ID, Patrick Star ID. So this is Patrick Star ID. So we type, TJ 50, TJ 50. So let's type in our function. We type the equals, we start with an equal sign. So this one we are going to start with an index, right? We type index. So what is our array? What is our array? So this is our array. So this is our array, and department is our array. So department is our array. So we now hit on comma. So instead of us to apply the row number, we are going to type in the function known as match. We type in match. So now what is our lookup value? So I guess you should know what is our lookup value by now. So what is our lookup value? So this is our lookup value. So this is our lookup value. This is our lookup value. Hit on comma. What is our lookup array? ID is our lookup array, right? Is our lookup array. ID is our lookup array. Hit on comma. We want exact match. We want exact match. So hit on 0. And close our bracket. We close our bracket 2 times. The first bracket is for the index function, while the second bracket is for the match function. So we close the second bracket and hit on enter. So we have here that so Patrick Star is in radiography department. If I change this to 26 and hit on enter, so we find out here that this ID here, the person on this ID is in theater art department. So that's how to use the index and match function. So if you remember how we did the VLOOKUP function, you know that it's the same thing like the VLOOKUP function. It's basically the same thing. So I recommend you use the VLOOKUP function in place of the index and match, unless it's being recommended, by your boss in the office, right? So let's move to the next one, which is the count function. So let's move to the next one, which is the count function. So we're going to start with count A. So the benefit of count A is that count A counts all the range that doesn't have that is not empty, right? Count the number of range that is not empty. That is the benefit of that is the count A function. That's what count A does. Count A counts number of cells that are not empty, right? That is the function of count A. That is what count A does. That is this job description. That is responsibility. Count A. That's what you should be doing. I'm going to count every cell that is not empty. So we have here, so this cell is empty. You can see this cell is empty. So let me highlight it. This cell is empty. Let me highlight it. Let me highlight it with this color. So you can see this cell is empty, nothing here. So for us to know how many empty cells we have, instead of looking for it one after the other, we use the count A function to do that. We start with an equal sign, count A, hit on your tab key to highlight everything on the tab column. Highlight everything here. So what we are doing is that Excel is scanning through all this range. Excel is scanning through to find out the cell that is not empty, right? To find out the cell that is not empty. Excel is scanning through. So Excel is scanning through to find out the cell, yeah, that is not empty. That's what Excel is scanning through. So let's click on enter. So we close our bracket and hit on enter. So we have here that we have 11 cells that are not empty that contains values. So you have 11 cells that contains values. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, right? We have 11 range or 11 cells. So we have 11 cells that is not empty. So that's how to use the count A. You can use the count A to know number of cells that are not empty or that is not empty. So that's how to use the count A function. So next function we are going to use is the count function. So use the count function to search for that contains numbers, to search for any range or any cells that contains numbers. That's how to use the count A function. So we are going to go again, equal sign, equal sign, we type on count. So highlight everything. I will close our parentheses or our brackets again. I will hit on enter. So we have only one cell that contains numbers, which is this cell, right? So this cell contains numbers. We have only one cell that contains numbers, right? So just like the name suggests, count blank. So you want to count the number of cells that is blank. So we go again with our, so we go again, so we go again, equal sign, count blank. What is our range? This is our range. So once you're highlighting it, Excel is scanning through all the cells, scanning through all the cells to find out the one that is empty. So once you've done with your range, you close your brackets again hit the enter key. So we find out that we have one blank cell, and which is this one I highlighted earlier. We have this. So the next one is the sum, the count if function. So we are going to count, the count if function counts everything in the range that meets a particular criteria. So let's assume your boss asks you to count the total number of Toyota we have on our car list. So this is our car list. Your boss is asking you, hey David, can you how many Toyotas do we have on our list? How many Toyotas do we have on our list? So for you to do that quickly and efficiently, you're going to use a count if function to do that, right? Use the count if function to do that. So you go to our equal sign, you type count if. So what is our range? So the list of cars here is our range. So everything here is our range. Everything is our range. It's on comma. So remember, anything in Excel must put in the quotes. If you want to find out something like a text string, put in a quote like this. So we type in Toyota, close our brackets, and hit on enter. So we have the Toyota as 3. We have 3 Toyotas on our list. How sure are we? So let's count. This is Toyota 1, this is Toyota 2, and this is Toyota 3. So we have Toyota 3 on our list. So that's how to use the count function in Excel. That's how to use the count function in Excel. So let's quickly try the last one. This is not count function. This is a sum if function. So what this does is for you to know the total price of Toyota, of all the Toyota we have on our list. For you to know the total price of all the Toyotas we have on our list, we use the the sum if function. We have here Toyota 1 here for 1,000. We have Toyota 2 here for 3,000. We have Toyota 3 here for 3,000 naira. So for us to know the total amount of all the Toyotas on our list, we are going to use the sum if function, right? So like what we have been doing previously, we're going to type in Toyota here, type in Toyota, with an equal sign, we type sum if. What is our range? So this is our range. This is our range. This is our range. So what is our criteria? Toyota is our criteria. So you won't type Toyota. Quickly click on the cell, which is D9. D9 is our criteria. So we have here D9. D9 is our criteria. It's on comma. Some range. Some range. So what do we mean by some range? Our price list is our sum range. The price column is our sum range. The price column is our sum range. So you need to highlight everything on the price column. Everything on the price column. You highlight all this on the price column. On the price column. And hit on enter. Sorry, close your brackets and hit on enter. So we have here the total price of all the Toyotas we have on our list is 7,000. So let's confirm that this is 1,000, this is 3,000, 4,000, and this is 3,000, 7,000. So that's how to sum up of everything in your list and quickly deliver results in less than a minute. So before we move to the next one, we are going to go for a quick break. We are going to go for a quick break. Once we return, we are going to start with the name range. So let's go for a quick break. We'll be back. All right, welcome back from that quick break. So the next thing we are going to learn on our in Excel is the name range, right? So the name range makes it easier for you to customize a particular cell or a range within a workbook. So you don't need to call out name of the cell after the other like A1. So we check this is A14. We have a A14. If I click on this, we have G17, right? So, so the name range gives you the ability to give any range or any cell a particular name of your choice, right? So for you to do that, you need to select the range, you highlight the range. So let's give this range full name, the column full name, a customized name. Let's give a customized name. So let's highlight everything. So let's highlight everything. So you come to the name box and type in any name. So you don't keep a space, right? That is it. Don't keep a space when typing the name in name box. So you type in name like full name or staff name. So we have the staff name. So with this name box, with this name range, you can easily refer to it without necessarily calling out the range one after the other. So once you highlight this range, we have it here as staff name, right? So that's how to use the name box in Excel. So the next we have here is data validation. All right. As a data analyst, as a data analyst, you'll be working mostly with data validation so that it prevents error and it doesn't give you it makes your work easier and it prevents you to spend longer period of time in cleaning your data. So basically, what data validation means is that it prevents error. That is it. It prevents error. So it doesn't give your colleague or another person time to enter any data that you don't need. So it prevents error. That is data validation. It prevents error in your data. So for us to, all right, so now for data validation, the benefit of data validation is basically to prevent error in data entry, is to prevent error in data entry. So let's assume these are list of candidates that wants to join a particular university. So these are their names, their age, and their registration date. So the university gave a law only for teenagers between the age of 13 and 19 are allowed to enroll for any of these courses, either male or female, only for teenagers between the age of 13 and the age of 19. So for you to prevent someone above the age of 19 and below the age of 13 to register for this course or to enroll in a particular university, let's say University of Calabar, for instance, for you to prevent someone below the age of 13 and above the age of 19 to enroll at Unical, you are going to use what we call data validation. You're going to use what we call data validation to prevent students below that age or above that age to register. So what are you going to do? you're going to highlight the range that contains the age. So this is the range. You highlight this range that contains the age. You go to the data tab. Under the data tab, data tools, you click on this drop down, not any value. So you click on any value. So now title, so you go back to settings. So we want whole number. The minimum age is what? The minimum age is 13. The maximum age is 19. So we move to the next one, input message. What message do you want to give to the person that will be entering the data? You say student age. So you can put any age of your choice. Student age. So what message? Enter eligible age. Enter eligible age. Enter eligible age. So you move to the next tab, which is the error tab. What error message you want it to display if anybody enters the age that is below 13 and above 19? What error message do you want it to display? The title should be stop, right? The error message is invalid, invalid age. So you can put any age of your choice, sorry, any error message of your choice. So let's click on OK. So we have that there. So if I click on this, we have student age, enter eligible age. So let's start entering the age. So remember we said anything below 13 and anything above 19 is not accepted. So let's quickly type in 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So let's try 20. Hit on enter. So we have here invalid age. Try again. Invalid age. Try again. So what it means is that it is above 19. So let's type in 12. Invalid age. So it's below 13. So that's how to do data validation. So let's move to the next one. So the same procedure for age, that's the same procedure used for date. So let's quickly do for date. So let's quickly do for date. So the data tab, data validation, setting, any value. So we click, we want date, start date, let's say 28 January 2025. What is the end date? Let's say 31st January 2025 is the end date. Input message, the same, can come up with anything. Let's say enter age, any message that comes to your mind, any title, enter date. If you enter student rec date, right? So let's move to the next column, next tab, error message. So you can put stop or you can put warning or stop, anything stop. You put wrong date. Anything that comes to your mind, you can put it. So we said first 28 January to 31st January. So let's type in 28. So we can see here enter date, enter student rec date. Okay, 28 January 2025. So enter. You move to the next cell. You say 29 January. So enter. You say 30 January. So enter. The 31st January. You can enter. It's the 1st of February. So we have the wrong date. So because it's above is way past 31st of January. So the registration date is supposed to end on the 31st of January 2025. So it doesn't extend to 1st of February. So that is the how to use data validation, right? That's how to use data validation. So we move to the next thing, which is the if function, which is the if function. All right. So yeah, here is more of logic. The if function is more of logic. It's going to return anything. If it's true, return it. If it's false, return it. It's more of logic. So don't be scared. It's something you can easily do, right? You can easily do. So let's assume you are working in university as a graduate assistant. You just got a job in university as a graduate assistant. So your direct boss, which is the lecturer you are working under with, gives you the result sheet for you to work on. It tells you, hey, David, these are the result sheets. Can you quickly come up with total for each student? I need that in 5 minutes time. I need to publish your results today before the close of work. So quickly do that for me. So what are you going to do here? You're going to use the if function to do that. You're going to use the if function to do that, right? So before you use the if function to do that, so let's quickly sum up this and this. I know if they're going to pass or not. So we go with the equal sign. It's a sum. So you want to sum up the score for the continuous assessment and exam and hit or enter. So now we are going to apply this to all the columns, right? To all the columns by simply dragging it to the end. So we can see that each student score 70, 52, 20, 40, and the rest. So now I want to give it a remark. That remark is any student that score above 39, let the student pass the exam. Any student that score below 39, let the student fail the exam. So that is what we are going to do next. We are going to do that using the if function. We are going to do that using the if function. So we are going to come here. We are going to come to cell H2. So remember our scenario, you're working as a graduate assistant, and your first task is for you to prepare this result sheet, give a remark for each student. So if a student pass a score, let it show pass. If the student fail, let it automatically show fail without typing it. So for you to achieve that, you are going to use the if function to do that. So remember in Excel, we start everything with an equal sign. So we type equal, we say if, right? This is a conditional statement. If is a conditional statement in logic. So where's our logical test? We say if our logical test is G. So if G2, right, is greater than. So what is a number? So it depends on the university. Some can say 30, some can say 40, some can say between 39 and 40 is fail or thereabout. So it depends on the school. So I'm going to use 39 just for the purpose of this class, right? So they say if, so I'm going to use 40 just for the purpose of this class, right? So it's going to say if G2 is greater than, right, or equal to. What this means is that any value that is on G2, if it's greater than or equal to 39, right? If it's equal to or if it's greater than or equal to 39, right? Give us, give us pass, right? Give us pass. Otherwise, give us fail. So you don't need to type otherwise. So this is logic. So it's not logic is not the normal English you know in school. So that's how you write logic. You don't write it like normal English you write in school. So so if G2 is greater than or equal to 39, give us pass or you give us fail. So you don't need to put or you don't need to put otherwise or give us this and this. So you don't do that in logic. So that's how you write it, right? So you say comma, in quotation sign, you say fail. You say fail. So that's how to write logic, right? You don't write it like your English, the way you were taught English in school. You don't write it that way. So you close your bracket and hit on what? And hit on enter. So you see here that Kat Valentine has failed the exam because she scored 39 in the exam. So let's check for other students. So we can see here that Patrick Star passed the exam. Patrick Star scored 52, which is a pass mark. Emma Alonso scored 70, which is also a pass mark. So that's how to do your that's how to do your if function in Excel. That's how to do your if function in Microsoft Excel. So we are going to move to the next one, which is conditional formatting, which is conditional formatting. So what this means is that we are going to apply formatting. Formatting means color, it means text, it means anything. So we are going to apply color to all these cells. If this cell meets a particular criteria, apply color to it, right? So let's quickly do this. So let's use our sum function to quickly do this. All right. So let's apply our if function again. So let's put a comma here. So let's apply to all the range. All right. So let's go back to our university example. So you've done what your direct boss asked you to do. You presented it to him. He now calls you back and say, hey David, come, one more thing, one more thing. Can you apply conditional formatting to this thing you just done? Apply conditional formatting to it. Any student that failed the exam, let this cell be red. Any student that passed the exam, let this cell be green. Right? Apply conditional formatting to it. So what are you going to do? You are going to highlight all the range. So the range is from H2. You come to the Home tab, Conditional Formatting, New Rules. You click on Format only cells that contain. You click on this. You say specific text, right? So you type in the name of the text. You type in fill. You type in fill as the text. So what color do you want to paint that cell that contains fill? What text do you want to format it with? What color do you want to format that cell with? So you click on the format, you click on fill, you click on color, right? So if the color you're looking for is not here, click on move color and select your color. Or you click on the custom and enter your RBG, HSL, and so on. So you click on OK, and we click on OK. So we have that there. So fill, we read, fill, we read. So we are not done. You are left with one. Your boss asks you, anybody that failed the exam, let the cell be red. Anybody that passed the exam, let the cell be green, right? So we highlight it again. Home tab, conditional formatting, manage rules, you hit on new rules, format only cells that contain, you click on it, format cells with, you click on it, specific text, you hit on specific text, containing what? All the cells that contain what? Pass. All the cells that contain pass. Format it with what color? So click on format. So remember your boss says green. So we click on green, you click on OK, click on OK. So you click on apply, I'll click on OK. So we have that there, conditional formatting. So we have formatted it. So if you check red, you have failed. If you check green, you've passed. So that's how to do conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel. So let's move to the next one, which is strings in Excel. So now I'm going to use the lane, the right, and the left, right? So let's assume you're working in a company. I want to find out I want to find out the length of all the text, particular text, the length of all the text. So the length function here is used to try to count number of characters in a text. So you want to count number of characters in a text, use the length function. So let's assume you're working in a radio station or you're working in a book publishing company. I want to find out the number of characters in a particular text, number of characters in the book, or number of characters in anything. For you to do that, you're going to use the len function. So you come here where you have the len, you type equal, you type len for short, len, hit your tab key. What's the text? So we click on this is our text, right? We close it, our bracket, and hit on what? Hit on enter. So we have a number of characters here as 9. So you apply it to all the cells, and as well drag it down to apply it to all the cells. All right, so the next example I want to give. So let's assume you're working with the federal government. So let's say with the federal government of Nigeria, and you're asked to extract only the name, right? So let's assume you did a Google form, you gave it out to people. They should, after their name, they should add their NIN number or their phone number immediately after their name. You should add that without a space or something like that, right? And the software was given to you, or you were given a form. The company sent out a form, and the people fill in their name. Maybe they fill in their name, they add their NIN number or they add their phone number to their name without keeping a space. And you are to subtract that. You have to separate their name from their NIN number. You have to separate their phone number from their name. So what are you going to do there? You are going to do what we call the right function to do that. So you type in equal sign, you type right. So what's the text are we going to use? So what text are we going to use here now? So following our previous example we have been given, so this is our text. We're going to hit on this, right? Our text. So number of characters. So you need to count the number of characters that is in that person's name. So we have Henry. How many characters is in Henry? So 5 characters is in Henry. So we type on 5, hit on 5. We close our brackets and we hit on what? We hit on enter. Hit on 4, hit on enter. Right? So we have extracted, the NIN, sorry, we have extracted the number from Henry. So the right function is used to extract all the numbers from the right. So we have to extract, the number or the phone number from Henry. So Henry joined his name and his NIN number or his social security number together. So we have to use the function to extract only the NIN number or the social security number only. So that's how to do that, right? That's how to do that. So you type in, so let's repeat that step again in case you are confused. So let's say you are working in the company and the staff that the company sent out a form to their consumers or to their customers, whatever the case may be, and most of them fill in their name and their phone number joined together, or their name and their NIN joined together, or their name and their social security number for those in the US joined together. And you're asked to extract their social security number from their name. You have to extract that out. So what they're going to do, they're going to use what we call the write function in Excel to extract that out. The write function in Excel. to extract that out the right function. So you go equal sign, you type right, hit on your tab key, hit on enter. So what's the character, the numbers? So NIN, you know all the countries have their numbers are always the same. One person gonna have three, another person have four. So like in Nigeria, all of us have NIN. So the numbers, the digits are the same, right? Same with our phone number and the rest. So the digit here is 4. So we type in 4. We close our square bracket or our parentheses. Hit on enter. So we have there here. So the NIN for Henry is 1398. So that's how to do that. So for you to the next one we are going to do, the next one we are going to do, we want to extract only Henry's name, right? So we have extracted the social security number. We want to extract Henry's name out, right? So you go to our equal sign, we type in left, so hit on this, hit on comma, number of characters is what? 5. So hit on 5 and close our square parentheses, hit on what? Enter. So we have Henry here, as 5. So that's how to extract characters in Microsoft Excel, right? So the next one we have here is concatenate, right? So we call what? Concatenate. So in the end, this function helps us to, this function helps us to join two text strings together, right? Two text strings together. So this function helps us to join two text strings together. So let's quickly do that. So let's create our border. So let's create our range. To select these two column D and column E. So you go to the home tab, you say, okay, you want only full name, so only one column. Click on the border tab. So we give this full name. All right. So you give that full name. So you want to join the first name and the last name together. So let's go back to our university example. So your boss asks you, hey David, can you join this name of our students? Can you join their names together? I want to have I don't want it separate in separate column. I want it in a one column. And you have so many names. So you can't start typing in one after the other. It will take longer time. And your boss say he wants that in 5 minutes time. So how can you achieve that? You're going to use a function in Excel known as the concatenate function. So we use this to join two text strings together. Use it to join the first name and the last name, or the phone number and the email address, or whatever the case may be, right? So we go again. It's an equal concat. It's A3 quotation sign, two quotation sign, and you say B3, right? Close your brackets and hit on what? Enter. So we have here and react. So once you drag it down, So let's adjust this. Click on this. So we have your full name, then React, Nora, and the rest, right? So you can see we have kept a space between the first uh, quotation sign and the second quotation sign. We kept a space. So you've seen there is a space there. So that space is separating this and this together. So separating Henry and React together. So that's what the space does. So that's how to join first name and last name together, making it a full name in Microsoft Excel, known as concatenate. So let's with two more. You're almost done. So let's assume you're working, so you were promoted to the rank of, let's say, secretary to the dean. And I'm working with the dean as a secretary, right? And the dean gives you a list that contains your student name, that contains how many rows? 2,200 rows. So we have here 2,200 rows, right? And the dean tells you, hey, David, there was an error in a student, or a student has changed his name, right? So can you quickly change that in our database or in our sheets? Can you quickly do that? Quickly change the name and print it out for me to approve. I need that in 5 minutes time. So now your boss sent you the sheet and highlighted the name. So this is the name of the student you need to change, right? Change this name. So for you to do that, you're going to use a feature known as find and replace. Find and replace feature helps you to find a particular name and replace it with any name of your choice. So for you to do that, you come to the Home tab, you come to Editing, you say Find and Replace, you click Replace, you say find what? What are you looking for? I say we are looking for Ahmed. We're looking for Ahmed Carlson, right? We're looking for Ahmed Carlson. We're looking for this name, Ahmed Carlson. I'm looking for this name, Ahmed Carlson. So replace it with what? Replace it with what? Replace it with, let's say, my name, or let's say replace it with any name. Let's replace it with David Stone, right? Replace it with David Stone. So you click on replace all. So anywhere you find this name, replace it with this. Anywhere you find the Ahmed Carlson, replace it with David Stone. So we click on replace, right? So two. So it was, so David Stone was on two columns, was on two cells. So we're all done. We made two replacement, hit on OK, right? Hit on close. So that's how to carry out find and replace feature in Microsoft Excel. So the next one we have here is what we've known as text to column. So remember when we did our concatenate, where we joined the first name and the last name together to have a full name. So text to column here, we want to do opposite of that. So we have the full name here. We don't want the full name. We want it one first name and one last name. That's what we want. We don't want your full name, right? For you to quickly do that, we insert a new column, right? Insert a new column. You select the column or the column where you have the full name or the columns. You select all the column where you have the full name. You select all the columns where you have the full name. You go to the data tab, click on the data tab, You click on text to column, you leave it the way it is, delimited, hit on next. So so you check on space, delimiters. So what is separating the first name and the last name? What is separating it is what is separating the full name is a space separating the full name. So there's a space between the first name and the last name. There's a space. So you can see here, there's a space. So hit on space, right? Hit on next, right? You keep it as text and hit on finish. So we have that there, first name. You can quickly change this to first name. You can quickly rename it first name. So rename this one. Rename this last name. Rename this last name. So that's how to do that, right? So these are the basic things you need to know in Microsoft Excel as a data analyst. So these are the basic things you know. So this is the end for this. So we stop here for this video. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment. See you in our next video.